All right, here's our myths. Which individual factors have zero impact on rankings? You can, if you hear this, now you'll be educated. That's all I can say. These factors don't matter. So when you're in your Google My Business, you're logged in with your Google account, there's some areas that ask for the GMB description, the services. Kind of doesn't really matter what you put. Don't worry about keyword stuffing that area. Google's not going to look at that section and say, oh, I know what these guys are about. We're going to rank them higher. It doesn't impact your rankings. Google My Business now allows a messaging feature. You could enable it. You can not enable it. It's not going to affect your rankings. It doesn't matter. Keywords in your GMB products, that's again kind of logged in. It's behind the scenes. It's like when you're filling out your GMB. Doesn't matter. If you spend money on AdWords, doesn't matter. It doesn't affect your ranking. Keywords in your Google posts, doesn't matter. I'm going to skip down a couple. Frequency of Google posts. I'll admit, for about a 2-week period, I believe that if we posted a lot on someone's Google My Business page, it would help with rankings. It does not help with rankings. It only helps with engagement and people spending more time on it, and thus a more willingness to convert that web visitor into a lead. Going up presence of an appointment URL or a calendar link, it's not going to affect it. The quality of Google posts doesn't affect your rankings. And then citations, we talked about that earlier. Google has it down to 7%. If you had a perfect, which I've never seen before ever, if you have a perfect citation directory listing profile on the internet, it wouldn't affect your rankings for this section. All right. So winding things down here, big conclusion is there's massive amounts of web traffic and leads coming in through local SEO. I get the most amount of calls for like, hey, what should I do to grow my business? Like, what's the next lead source that I should do? And I kind of really enjoy that. And I really try to customize it based on the customer's profile, what the competition is doing, what strengths they have, what strengths they don't have, and so on. And I try to, take their budget and say, okay, great, next step is this. But boy, you can't overlook local SEO in how you run your business. And there's some things that you could do that could just influence this. And it really matters that this is by far the biggest area of lead sources, of a lead source for probably any contractor.